Hello and welcome to In Pursuit of. My guest, NIHARIKA Sharma, co-founder Painted Red, is here with me, and she is in pursuit of breaking biases and taboos around menstrual health in India. Welcome, NIHARIKA. Welcome again. NIHARIKA, my first question to you right now is, what is this gap that you are really trying to fill and address with Painted Red?
With Painted Red, our primary gap to fill is that of misinformation and the lack of education around menstrual health in India. The way that we do it is with keeping a lot of stakeholders in the loop. We don't want to do it in one, silo. We want everyone involved. We want everybody talking. We want there to be a point where our work isn't required. I believe that there are a lot of great strides that India has taken in terms of menstrual health, in terms of menstrual health leave policies and things like that. At least the conversation is open and it's ongoing. But when it actually comes to our work, we want to get people feeling comfortable and to not have shame about being a menstruator. That's what we're doing.
Right. So, I mean, those are big gaps. In India, it's going to take a long, long time. And I love your idea that you want to become obsolete. I don't even want to ask you, how long do you think it will take? That's like, I don't think there's an answer to that. So
It's
let's
definitely
not.
like a shot in the dark. But yeah.
100 years, like that? Yeah, you hope so? Good. There you go. So you'll be obsolete in 100 years. Let's put it that way. Okay. So NIHARIKA, tell me, what can people like our audience and other people, Aam Janta, I guess you're working on something which is very taboo and people may be uncomfortable with it, but is there something that you could share with them on how they could help?
Help is not always monetary. Help is not always tangible. For us, since our work is about behavior change, what we want you to do at the very least is talk about it. We want you to have uncomfortable conversations. If you feel that, hey, you know what? I actually don't know how many days the egg is alive for. Or can I be pregnant at any point in the month? Is that a thing? Is it possible? Or how long is an average menstrual cycle? Ask all of these questions. And can you actually answer them? Talk to your girlfriends. Talk to any other menstruator. Talk to non-menstruators. Please involve them. Because most of the time, the issue is that they are not being involved. It is not that they don't want to learn.
It's true.
At the very least, I invite you to talk. That's it.
Such a wonderful idea, really. I mean, it is. And I think people would be surprised at how empathetic boys and men can be. Isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. There are so many on-ground surveys and things that we've done or activities that we've done where a lot of organizations had put up stalls across metro stations in Delhi. Ours was definitely a little bit out of the box. It was making people uncomfortable, but a lot of people were engaging. Our primary audience obviously was women, right? But we were talking to anybody who came our way. So there was a group of boys at Rajiv Chowk who came and interacted with us. And they basically pointed to every single one of our games. And it was so interesting to see them so engaged, wanting to learn. They couldn't tell the difference between the uterus and the ovaries, but they wanted to know. So it was definitely very, I suppose, motivating in a way.
Very nice.
That, hey, you know what? It's important that we involve them. And that's actually where a smaller program of ours came about. It's called Project Gullak. It basically talks about puberty, adolescent health in a very broad way and involves all genders.
I think that's really wonderful. In fact, I was just thinking, I've recently seen 2 movies in Indian cinema which have addressed this issue of, adolescents discovering their sexuality, etc. And they've been pretty much like, I mean, I've been pretty amazed that all this is like, out there now, and it's pretty good, trying to educate people, at least even with mass media. We need a book like that, like Project Kullak, where
It's on the way.
wonderful. I'm going to be the first one to get it. So, Niharika, tell me, what is that pivotal moment for you, that aha moment, which kind of changed how you saw things in this journey of working on menstrual health or while you've been with Painted Red?
I feel like it was definitely like a lot of ups and downs throughout this whole journey. But the work always kept me grounded. It kept me coming back. Even when I was going through treatment, I've had my own struggle with cancer. And the one thing that kept me, waking up every single day and wanting to show up was work. So even when we were pitching for a lot of the, major grants and also an incubator and going through like the final rounds, I was doing all of that during my radiation sessions.
My goodness.
And it was something that mattered a lot and still does. So for me, it was at that point that I truly felt that I had found what I wanted to be doing, the sort of legacy that I wanted to leave behind in the world. And even if that meant having changed a single life. When I do say that I want this work to matter and to eventually not be needed, I wholeheartedly mean that. And for us to have even changed the 30,000 lives that we have today in our 3 years of operations, it's been genuinely a lot of work, but also truly a blessing. So to see, my personal victories and struggles, and my professional, struggles and, low moments and victories, and to all just be coexisting together and balance each other out in a lot of ways. For a very long time, it was work that kept being that high for me to always come back to.
So wonderful, Niharika, and really hats off to you too. I mean, that's really brave and very inspiring, I must say. Niharika, I want to know, what is that one thing you wish would change in the social sector landscape of India?
I suppose it'll have to be the competition that organizations feel exists between each other. If a lot of us are working towards the same goal, and if the intent is for us to achieve it, why cannot we work together? Why can't we collaborate? Why can't we work towards it with one another?
Absolutely. That's such a wonderful ask.
And I am not saying this as an idealistic thing to achieve. It is something that we've actively worked towards at PIR. What we recognized pretty early on was that a lot of our sister organizations, a lot of other organizations were working in silos. And if they weren't reaching out to us, we wanted to reach out to them. We wanted to say that, hey, you know what? You solve for product, we solve for education. We both work towards, MHM goals. Let's do it together. And at this point, we have over 80 partners.
Wow, that's amazing, Niharika. That's incredible collaboration. So, if at this point I was to ask you, what's the one space that you want to collaborate in at this moment, if you were looking for one collaborator out of all the collaborators that you're looking for, who would that be? Just put out an ask.
Okay. I'm not going to name names, but I am definitely wanting to collaborate more in tech, AI, sort of like a space wherein it'd be really impactful to, get the knowledge onto a platform and deliver it.
For your LMS system?
that's where that final piece of the puzzle can really like fit for us.
That
So,
would
yeah.
be pretty amazing if you
Yeah.
can find somebody like that. And I'm sure, I have a feeling somebody in the audience is going to ping you.
I hope so.
So, how have you transformed as a person, as a person, as a leader in this entire journey?
That was like the best way to figure out how to actually be that empathetic leader, how to actually show up for your team, how to set that culture that you wanted seen across the organization. What I've also learned, I suppose, over time is a lot of patience. You won't be able to impact every single person's life that you come across. If you're open and they're open, that's where it works. And sometimes that's not the case. So it's okay to know when to take a step back. And obviously, other more tangible skills with regard to, say, making policy drafts and, curating programs and, putting in more psychological interventions and things like that. It's largely been a journey of personal growth, to say the least. And my biggest contributor to any form of success through all of this, I suppose, has been discipline. And I say that only because I know how easy it would have been for me to say that I don't want to show up for work, having just gotten operated on for cancer, having gone through radiation, to say that, hey, you know what, I need time to recover. I need to move away. And I did need time to recover. I'm taking that now.
That's good.
I'm not saying don't do it. But yeah, I suppose at the end of the day, it taught me discipline. That was it.
Fantastic. Just really, really wonderful. And Niharika, I am marveling at your strength really in this, because it's not easy to, like you said, to show up, when there's too much going on at your own personal end, and that to show up for somebody else, right? So thank you so much for coming here, for talking to us.
Thank you so much.
And it's indeed a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.